immensely skilled and knowledgeable people in the online video space. He works as a creative strategist for Epipheo Studios, who are one of the most successful video production companies at the moment. He runs a series of informative videos for ReelSEO, who are arguably the leading voice for online video. As well as that, he still finds time to be a youth worker, run his own blog, and even to have a family. So the main topic today is really authenticity, storytelling, and getting to the crux at the heart of your video. So thank you very much for joining us, Tim. I think what you do is amazing.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Excellent. So I just want to ask you, you've been an author and a speaker in the past. You've created a lot of video content to communicate ideas. How important is storytelling in online video, and is it important for all types of video?
Yeah, I think storytelling is really, really important. I feel like stories is something that everyone enjoys, appreciates. There's an emotional connection to stories. I mean, there's a reason why movies in Hollywood is, as big and popular as it is, and the budgets that go behind that, because we all love stories. And it would be one thing for like a video marketer, for example, to stand up and just give, facts of here's the features we have, price points, and that kind of stuff. And there's a place for that sometimes. But what we really believe in is that stories are much more compelling, and especially if you can tell a story that answers the why question, especially if you're a marketer, or, why is what you do valuable? Why is this going to change the world? And we really love to tell stories that really communicate that why. And that is, as soon as you start talking about that, like everyone's checklists of comparing your features against someone else's features, like all that goes away, and they're like, man, I believe in what those guys believe in. I want to be a part of that. Yeah. And that you can do that best through storytelling.
Yeah, it's kind of about experience, isn't it, and the customer journey, making it appealing and engaging.
Yeah, and especially if you can connect stories to their experiences, and like the emotional tie is much more powerful there.
Great. So social media has suddenly come into the fore, really. How has this affected? Okay, you're right.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm good.
So social media has come to the fore. So how has this affected transparency, and how should transparency influence a business's video production strategy?
Dude, like your whole entire strategy has to revolve around transparency, because there's nothing that people dislike more than a fake, or when you're trying to sell me something that is clearly an inferior product, or you're trying to tell me, communicate a message that is just not really a earth-changing, world-changing message, but you try to just sugarcoat it. Like, people today can see straight through that, especially teenagers. They can see that type of BS a mile away, And so transparency, I'm actually writing an ebook right now, should be out in a couple of weeks, and one of the sections in there is comparing new media with old media. And in kind of going off what you're saying with transparency, in old media, people get paid tons of money to act like someone they're not. Right? But in new media, you better be exactly who you are, or else people discount you as a fake immediately, and you'll actually do your product, your service, your company, whatever it is you're trying to promote, your message, you'll do it a tremendous disservice. So yeah, social media has really made transparency and authenticity, those are both buzzwords, but probably for good reason. They made that really important.
It takes some creativity and a bit of courage to be that transparent nowadays.
Yeah, you got to really be secure, right? Especially on the internet, when you can put yourself out there, and what YouTube comments can be like sometimes, not always the friendliest. So you got to be pretty confident and comfortable in your own skin, and knowing that there will be some people who will connect with that.
Okay, so here at MWP, we're great fans of Epipheo and what you do, and in fact, your examples are all over our blogs. So what are the key ingredients of your secret sauce for a success as a video production company?
I don't know. There's a couple things, there's a process we take our clients through, that we hopefully will draw out the why behind what you do and why it's important. But I think it really revolves around that. That is what we devote our time doing, and that's the story that we tell, is the why. And so everything we do, we've done deals, worked with many clients, Disney to Amazon to Microsoft, Visa. We've done all these, and every time we work with them, we draw out the why. Why is this prepaid debit card that Visa is doing. Why is that valuable? You know, and what difference will that make in the world? And really helping them understand that. And then we see that they get energized about it, and now they're really like, oh yeah, this is about something bigger than just what we thought it was about. And that's the story that we tell. So that's really what the secret sauce revolves around.
And how long does it take you to get to really discover the essence of a business? Because that's what you seem to specialize, is in hitting the essence of a business.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, we can talk with someone who just knows it, you know, and immediately they're like, oh, sweet. That sometimes it takes a little while of asking questions, drawing them out of them, because a lot of them, like we find that a lot of our clients at Epipheo are actually really thankful to us. You know, when they start talking with us, they're like, oh, I thought I was just coming here to get a video, but actually you guys are helping me understand my business more. We did a video, for example, this is a classic example. There's many examples like this, but one of the video that really set Epipheo mainstream is when we did a video called "What is Google Wave?" and that went viral, and that's when we started getting a lot of attention at that point. And the guy who had been working on Google Wave for you know, for years and years and developing, he was like the lead guy over it. When he saw that video, he came to Epipheo and he said, thank you for making this. I finally, like, my family finally understands what I do and why I do it. You know, thank you. And so that's like where we help other brands and companies do that same thing, is understanding that why, and they realize they're getting much more than just a video, but they're like they're deepening their understanding in what they do, why it's valuable, and why it's important for the world.
Yes. So a lot of people tend to make a video and sometimes forget about the marketing of it. They get a video and perhaps sit on it. What are the key pieces of advice you would give to a business owner who asks you about making videos?
For marketing them and building an audience?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends. Again, it could go back to your why. So I'm a not marketing strategist, more like a creative video strategist. But there's a lot of different ways, and there really isn't like a cookie cutter. The approach that I like the best, and again, this doesn't fit for everybody's purposes, but the approach that I like the best is the ongoing content audience, where you know, kind of like content marketing, where you're offering value and establishing trust and building reputation with people, and then they in turn then either spend their dollars with you or at least recommend you. And you know, there's something to be said for building social equity as well. So that's the kind of the strategy I usually go with. So don't think of it just as like one video, as if you're going to make one video, put it on YouTube, it's going to go viral, and your company's going to launch into success. That has happened before, but it's definitely not the tried and proven. Most of the top YouTubers right now have never had a viral video. They've just gone slow and steady of continually interacting and building with their audience, and not just building like giving them awesome content, but there's two things I say that like every video strategy needs to do, and this is also in my ebook, which will be free, that's coming out soon. It's one, it has to build a connection. So you know, you and the viewer have to build some sort of emotional connection together, where they have like a real human connection to you, and then you take that connection and then you turn it sideways as all the audience is growing. Rather than just keeping them as an audience, you find ways to get them to turn and look at themselves and form community. So it's not just about you, and it's not just about getting views, and it's not just about AdSense revenue or whatever the case may be in selling products. It's about something bigger than all of that, and the money and the views and all those are more indicators, or those are symptoms of something bigger that's happening, right? So rather than focusing on those as the end to themselves, we focus on views as the means to a greater end. So if you can form that human connection and then form that community with the people who are in your audience so that they're now interacting with each other, there's lots of examples I could give you, but that is really, like, that's what's going to catapult your marketing and your videos to the next level.
Great. So what's I didn't know you were writing an ebook. What's it called, and how long does it take you to write it?
It's called The Secret to Building Your YouTube Audience.
Right.
And I finished the first draft, and I sent it out to, actually this past weekend, sent it out to a bunch of industry leaders that I know and said, hey, give me some feedback on this and write an endorsement for it if you don't mind. And I'm going to give it away for free, but most of the feedback I've had right now is, Tim, dude, you can't give this away for free. You got to sell this. I'm like, so now I got to figure that out. But I think I'm going to, again, land more on, I'm giving it away for free in exchange for respect and reputation and social currency stuff.
Well, you get lots of respect. So anybody who's watching this broadcast, if you'd like something to know how to get hold of Tim's book, just send us an email and we'll forward you the details that Tim gives us.
Okay, yeah, it'll just be at videocreators.com. Make sure it'll be.
Fantastic. So I know you've been creating videos for student ministry as part of your work for youth work. Can you give us a few stories about how it's benefited them, do you think?
Benefited youth workers?
Yeah, video.
Yeah, so this has been a little bit more tricky for me because, let me give you a little bit of background story real briefly, is that I started a blog in 2005. It's now one of the most widely read youth ministry, youth worker blogs on the internet. And is continuing to grow and every day. What I have found is that when I make videos for that WordPress text-based platform and I put videos on there, they don't get nearly as many views as if I would just write out the post. And I think there's some reasons for that, but one is that they're subscribing to a text-based website, so when I put video on there, they're like, whoa, what's this, you know? But two, I think I have unintentionally, through years and years and years of blogging, unintentionally taught my audience that to consume from me via text. So the videos for me aren't so much to get a lot of more views, because I can get more views for those videos on YouTube than I can on my blog. But what it does for me on my blog is going back to that human connection. Even if someone doesn't watch that video all the way through, at least if they click play, watch a little bit, they see my face, they hear my voice, they see my personality, and it makes my written posts now come more to life. And now there's more human connection with the written text than there otherwise would have been. So that's the value, I think, in making video content. Plus, you know, there's SEO benefits to all that, as you guys know, and to all that as well.
So you're talking about emotional connection and emotional response there. Can you actually plan to build that into your videos? Is it something that you can actually structure, or is it just there?
I think you have to plan that in. Yeah, there's some people where it comes naturally, and I would humbly suggest that that's kind of what I've grown up with, so it kind of comes natural for me too. But for a lot of people starting out now, they're like, they come across, especially in the very beginning, they start the video, they're very guarded, they're like trying to figure this whole space out, and they just kind of just awkward on video, and that's actually part of the process. Like, I encourage people to do that and be that and push through that and leave those videos on your channel, because one day when you get like 100 videos in, you look back and you're like, whoa, I am way better at this now than I used to be, you know. And your audience actually will love that too. I have I think 700 videos actually is what I crossed today on my family vlog channel, and I go back and look at some of the very first videos that we did on there, and whew, man, like, people who go back and look at it, they're like, Tim, you have definitely come a long way since that first video, you know. So it's a good kind of for your community to kind of feel like they're part of that thing. It's something bigger. So.
And do you think it'll continue to change? Will it be different in another 2 years' time, do you think?
As far as being authentic and just being really personal?
Things are developing, and the way stuff people view things and respond to them. Is that something that's progressing all the time, or are we there now?
I think that human connection has always been one of those needs that has been intrinsically valuable to all of us, you know, and whatever expression that takes, it's, you know, it's forming. The online video industry will obviously definitely continue to grow. I mean, just think of where it was 2 years ago to where it is now. I mean, another 2 years from now, it'll be, again, the landscape will be totally different. But I think that's why it's important to really capitalize and focus on some of those things that are kind of timeless, you know, like human connection, authenticity, and trust and respect, you know, those types of things instead. Those will span throughout the course of whatever the video industry looks like.
Yeah, that's really fantastic stuff, Tim. So I just wanted to thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us, and there's some real gems in there. It's been delightful talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.